Hey everyone, and welcome to the Formula for Success and Wealth, your channel for learning how to build lasting financial well-being and live a smarter life. If you're tired of working hard, diligently saving, and yet still feel that pit in your stomach because you're unsure where or how to invest, this video is your turning point. Do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button right now, because over the next few minutes, I'm going to lay out a clear, practical, and entirely achievable path to make your money start working for you. Here, we talk about personal finance the way it always should have been taught, with honesty, clarity, and in step with your dreams of freedom. Imagine transforming that anxiety of, "I don't know where to invest," into security, growth, and genuine choice. That's my commitment to you today. Subscribe, ring that notification bell, because together we're going to break free from the cycle of financial stress and move towards a lighter, more prosperous and liberated life. You know that feeling of finally getting there? You've spent years studying, hustling, overcoming every challenge, whether in college, at the hospital, in the courtroom, at your own company, or even just scraping together your first investment funds as a young adult. But then comes a surprising moment. After all that effort and sacrifice, you look at your bank balance and see a figure you never imagined. It's a mix of pride, relief, but also a wave of doubt. What do I do now? Where should I put this money? How do I make it grow for me without risking everything I've built? It might sound strange, but this is often where a new, silent battle begins. The fear of losing what you've worked so hard for can paralyze even the most determined individuals. And believe me, I understand, because I've been in that exact spot. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor pulling exhausting shifts, a lawyer who fought tooth and nail to establish your own practice, a dentist who painstakingly built a loyal client base, an entrepreneur who risked it all to launch a dream business, or a young person seeing those first savings accumulate. All of us, sooner or later, hit this same stumbling block. The sensation of being at a financial crossroads is overwhelming, because no one really teaches us how to handle the responsibilities that come with having money left over. Sometimes, the pressure feels even greater because you think you should know exactly what to do. After all, you managed to get this far, but the fear of making the wrong decision is immense. What if I lose it all? What if investing is too complicated? What if my money just sits there and loses value? And you know what? That fear is natural. It's trying to protect the life you've constructed. But it also causes many people to freeze, pushing the decision to invest off until tomorrow. And that tomorrow turns into months, then years, until often you realize you've worked, you've earned, but you've missed out on growth because of a fear of the unknown. It's easy to picture this cycle. You wake up early, battle traffic, deal with dozens of clients or patients, make plans, dream about the future. But when it comes time to decide where to invest, you feel that emptiness in your stomach, that lump in your throat, like you're about to jump out of a plane for the first time. And when in doubt, the money just stays put, stagnant, getting eaten away by inflation. It feels like a cruel trick, doesn't it? I've counseled hundreds of people who've gone through this exact experience. One story I'll never forget is of a young, very successful dentist with his own practice and a stable clientele. Behind the scenes, he confessed to me, "My money is just sitting in a savings account, earning next to nothing. But the thought of moving it gives me chills. I keep thinking I could lose everything." And maybe you can relate to that. You know the saying, "A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush." It echoes in our minds when it's our money on the line, right? But the problem is, by holding on too tight, you run another risk, slowly losing what you fought so hard to gain. The first major shift in thinking is understanding that genuine information sets you free. Contrary to what many believe, investing isn't just for Wall Street wizards or for people with endless free time to track the markets. Investing is about building habits that move your money from point A to point B, safely, without rushing, but also without being paralyzed by apprehension. It's not about immediately rushing to buy stocks or cryptocurrencies. It's about taking the safest first step of all, creating your financial bedrock, your financial comfort zone. Here's a simple analogy. Think of investing like building a house on a new piece of land. Before you can even think about the fancy rooftop deck, you need to pour a solid foundation. And what is that foundation? It's your emergency fund. At least 6 to 12 months of your essential living expenses, protected from crises, income loss, or unexpected events. There's no big secret here. You invest this emergency reserve in things like certificates of deposit, CDs, from major banks, US Treasury bills, or high-yield savings accounts and money market funds that offer daily liquidity. This is your sleep soundly money. It needs to grow faster than inflation, but be readily accessible for emergencies. Only after this, once your safety zone is established, do you begin to construct the other levels of your financial home. But perhaps you're wondering, what then? I've bought the land, built the foundation, but should I invest in real estate, REITs, stocks? What if it goes wrong? What if I lose money? This uncertainty is as natural as breathing. Look, the biggest mistake for someone who has already accumulated some money is to believe in shortcuts. It seems like suddenly everything online boils down to double your money in 12 months, secret funds, currencies of the future. There's no such thing as a free lunch. The only people who get rich from promises of easy money are those selling the promises, not those investing in them. Think about that successful business owner you admire, that renowned doctor or lawyer. They all spent years building their reputations, trusting the process. It's the same with investments. You don't need to pick the next financial rocket ship. You need clarity about your objectives. There's no single best investment in the world. There's only the best investment for you. What makes sense for an entrepreneur aiming to buy a new car in 2 years is completely different from what suits a young professional planning for retirement far down the line. Therefore, the question you need to ask yourself isn't, where's the secret to investing? But rather, what are my goals? What do I want to achieve in 1, 5, or 10 years? The answer to this begins to illuminate your path. I want to tell you about a lawyer I worked with. He used to say, wealthy people can lose money in investments. Poorer people lose out because they do nothing. We'd laugh, but it's absolutely true. What separates those who build wealth from those who just watch money pass through their hands is the habit of investing in a planned manner, not the attempt to get everything right at once. He had savings, but he was always jumping from one thing to another. He started a company, joined a shared investment group, tried traditional bank funds, and then stayed out of everything, afraid of losing. The key was to pause, organize his goals, and do the basics well. Fixed income for the short term, REITs for the medium term, and gradually adding stocks for the long term. After a year, the emotional stability he gained was more valuable than any specific interest rate or market return. The truth is, investing is an act of self-management. It requires you to sit down with yourself, understand your apprehensions, define what keeps you up at night and what gives you hope. Money and emotions go hand in hand, and ignoring this only increases anxiety. Self-judgment, that little voice asking, "Do I really deserve to prosper?" is what sabotages many people. You need to look at your assets as the result of your hard work and understand you deserve to reap the rewards. Investing is honoring your labor, making it multiply its results. And how do you do this practically? Within the universe of possibilities, you can organize your money into 3 clear categories: security, building, and prosperity. Security is where your emergency fund goes. Building includes investments with longer time frames, but controlled risks. Think fixed-rate treasury bonds, REITs, and stocks of established, solid companies. Prosperity is where you can take bigger, calculated risks, but never to the point of compromising your peace of mind. Growth stocks, certain actively managed funds, or even a small percentage in cryptocurrencies, provided you genuinely do your research. The decision to invest doesn't need to, and shouldn't, turn your daily life into a battleground. Use technology to your advantage. There are excellent free platforms and experts producing high-quality content. Be discerning, don't fall for miracle promises. Assemble a diverse group of investments. Diversify slowly, a bit in fixed income, a bit in equities. Every month contribute a certain amount, no matter how small. It's the habit, not the sum, that builds wealth over time. I'll share a potent metaphor. Imagine your money as seeds. If you keep them under the mattress or let them languish in a low-yield savings account, they'll dry up. If you desperately scatter them on the first patch of soil that promises a miracle, the seeds might die, scorched by the sun or eaten by pests. Now, if you plant them in the right soil, water them with discipline and patience, the fruits will come, sometimes not as quickly as you'd like, but they will come. And do you know what the key element tying all this together is? Knowledge. As Benjamin Franklin wrote, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Learn the basics about each type of investment before you commit money. If you have doubts, consult a financial planner. Talk to people who are already investing, but not those who just flaunt gains without discussing risks. Seek out reliable sources, read books, participate in courses. The time you spend investing in your financial education returns multiplied in peace of mind and long-term results. We've made many mistakes in this country when it comes to financial education, but you can be the turning point in your own family, in your own story. When you look back 5-10 years from now and realize that your money has grown and given you the freedom to choose to work for passion, not out of necessity, then you'll understand the true meaning of investing. It's not just about multiplying assets. It's about buying time, quality of life, possibilities, and autonomy. And perhaps the biggest opponent you face today isn't a lack of resources, nor the complexity of investments, but the apprehension about taking action. Apprehension paralyzes, but only action, even imperfect action, moves you forward. The best time to invest might have been some years ago. The second best time is right now. Now I want to offer you a new perspective. Let's talk about the true significance of time in investing. I'm sure you've heard of compound interest, that concept that seems simple, but is actually the most powerful wealth-building mechanism there is. What few people emphasize is that time is an investor's greatest partner. It's no use thinking you'll make up for years of idle money with risky bets promising outrageous returns. The secret is long-term cultivation. Every month you invest with discipline is like adding another brick to the structure of your financial independence. There's no such thing as too small an amount. When I look at people who started early, I see fantastic outcomes. Not because they got every pick right, but because they gave time a chance to work and didn't try to get rich overnight. This is the big differentiator between those who reach their goals and those who get frustrated along the way. And this applies to professionals, entrepreneurs, and young beginners alike. Want a practical example? Sometimes you compare your progress to that of older professionals, thinking you're behind, that you've lost time, that you should be a millionaire by now. But the truth is, the world's greatest fortunes weren't built in 5 or 10 years, but over 20, 30, 40 years. What makes the difference is the effect of compound interest combined with consistency. An entrepreneur who invests $1,000 a month for 20 years with an average rate of return can reach retirement with a more substantial nest egg than someone who tries to guess the next big investment and gives up at the first stumble. I repeat, time is the one variable in the equation over which you have some control. Every day you postpone, you forgo the biggest gains from this process. So believe it, start now with what you have and how you can. With time, the rewards will come. Another important issue, one that's rarely discussed, is the influence of your social circle on your financial life. Look around you. With whom do you share your uncertainties? What kind of advice do you receive from colleagues or your group of friends? Believe me, often the apprehension about investing is less related to the money itself and more to the influence of beliefs held by people close to you. Who hasn't heard a story about someone who lost everything in the stock market, or who got rich overnight with some miracle business? We are greatly affected by stories, whether of success or failure, and this shapes our behavior enormously, especially when it comes from people we admire or love. Therefore, I ask you for a moment of honesty. What is the predominant financial pattern around you? Is it one of prosperity, planning, and a growth mindset? Or is it one of apprehension, excessive caution, and stock phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "investing is only for other people"? I'm not saying to cut anyone out of your life, but rather to choose carefully whose financial advice you accept. If possible, get closer to people who have already walked this path, who view money as a tool for freedom, not an object of fear. Look for study groups, events on finance, genuine mentors. Exchanging experiences helps you grow faster and with less distress. You don't have to walk this path alone. There's a community of people learning, sharing successes and mistakes. And sometimes, just one right conversation can open doors you never even imagined. Today could be the day you stop procrastinating. The day you start with one small decision, opening an account with a brokerage firm, talking to someone who understands the subject, setting aside an amount for your emergency fund. The way ahead is long, but every step brings you closer to the freedom you so desire. You've worked too hard to let your money sit idle, to waste opportunities due to insecurity. I'm extending a hand to you, as someone who has navigated this winding path and learned, often with apprehension, but always by keeping moving. If this conversation resonated with you, use that energy and transform your doubt into concrete action. Look at your life and think, how much time have you already lost, stuck due to apprehension or uncertainty? Now is the time to turn this game around. Share this video with someone special who needs to hear this message. Leave your biggest questions or experiences in the comments below and subscribe to the channel to advance with me in this process of growth. You may not know exactly where to invest right now, but the truth is, only those who get moving discover the best opportunities along their own way. Financial freedom is a daily construction made of choices, courage, and initiative. And today, right now, is the perfect moment to start building yours. And hey, while you're at it, check out the link to our Smart Rewards course in the description. It was designed to be a practical and accessible solution to help you turn everyday spending into an extra stream of income or savings, helping you build that cushion and take the first step out of the financial stress cycle. You absolutely deserve to live with more tranquility and autonomy. Invest in knowledge, in action, in yourself. Like this video, share it, and let's move forward together. I'll see you in the next video.